Hey guys, Mr. Matthews here, and welcome to the virtual classroom for this week. This week's topics include rigid transformations and one, well, not so rigid transformation if we get there, but mostly we're going to be talking about translations and reflections. So what we're about to do is go through your homework for the week, and this video is going to serve as sort of like a note-taking material. You can pause, rewind, replay, skip ahead, whatever you need to be successful. If you can't access anything linked up on Classroom, please notify me via email immediately so we can fix it, because I need all this work done by Friday. And this stuff's going to count. Last week, things are just weird, but this week, everyone's had time to adjust. So let's get our work done. So without further ado, let's start looking at your assignments for this week. So looking at my screen here, we're going to start. Well, first, let's just go ahead and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 6 lessons. Excuse me. So we're going to get through this, and we'll see if I can get them all right in the first try, see if you can get them all right in the first try. But if we start to struggle, that's fine, because that's where learning begins. Okay, so we're going to start right here with this lesson called Translating Points. Okay, point Q prime is the image. Point Q prime is the image of Q, which is at negative 5, 1, under translation by 6 units to the right and 2 units down. What is the coordinates of Q prime? Okay, so just to unpack this for you, I might need the assistance of an image. Do I have a blank graph anywhere? Let me see. I think I hid it for myself. Anyway, so I'm going to find an image of a blank Cartesian plane. If you are really good at graphing, then this might be something you can just do in your head. If you're not so good at graphing, it might be a little more difficult to do in your head. Let's see. This is great content. Watching Mr. Matthews download an image. Here's what I'm looking at right now. I'm trying to pick the best one. Which Cartesian plane seems to be my favorite? That one's pretty good. Go to view image. Save image as. Put it on my desktop. Sure, that's fine. So now I can get rid of this and pull this up. Okay. So let's look back at our problem. It said Q is at negative 5, 1. So let's go ahead and go back to our plane. Actually, we should probably write this down on your own paper, but Q is going to be at negative 5, 1. It's going to translate 6 units to the right and 2 units down. So what you need to imagine, let me put a stamp at negative 5, 1. So negative 5, 1. Okay, so if you're not very good at graphing, you're really going to have to get a handle on this, because this is just assumed knowledge. So negative 5, 1 is right here. It said point Q. Yeah, yellow doesn't seem to be a good color for this. So point Q is at negative 5, 1. I can tab back just to make sure I had that right. Q is at negative 5, 1. Yep. Okay, so that's that star right there on the screen. Negative 5, 1. And then it told us that Q prime, and that is the way you say that thing. Like they said Q, and then they had this weird little, it's not apostrophe, but that's the best image I can. The way we say that is Q prime. That's the way that's said. and they gave us directions. So let's go back and see what that said. 6 units to the right and 2 units down. Okay. So just for myself, it said to go get a different color. 6 units right and 2 units down. Okay. This is where you really need to listen up. When it says right and left, if it ever says right and left, it's talking about the x-axis. So check this out. It says to the right, so we need to be looking at the x-axis, okay? Our x value. X values can change left and right. If you add, that means the x value is going to go to the right. If you subtract, that means your x value is going left. So when it says 6 units to the right, that means we're going to take our x value, and we're going to add 6 to it. That's what that means. Now, this other instruction, it says 2 units down. All right, well, our y-axis is labeled here. Our y-axis, okay. So the y-axis, you're subtracting going down, and if you're going up, you're adding. So when it says 2 units down, that means I'm going to have to take my y value. In this case, it's the 1. The y value is going to go down by 2 units. So if I was going to do all this scrap paper, what I'd end up doing is I'm going to do, so q prime is going to be at x plus 6 and y minus 2. And they gave us those values. They said that x is -5 and y is 1. So that means that q prime is going to be at -5 plus 6 as my x value, and y is 1 minus 2. So now I just use my x and y values. So apparently q prime is going to be, okay, so -5 plus 6. Again, this goes to 7th grade integer rules. -5 plus 6 is a +1. And 1 minus 2 is -1. So apparently, I'm going to put a heart on it. So apparently, 1 -1, 1 over and 1 down is right there. Oh, that would explain. I do something. I need to move a few things around. Derp. By the way, Mr. Matthews, mess up where you put a star. And I can't seem to grab this, so I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, so that's -5, 1. Duh. That's -5 back and 1 up. Anyway, so this one's in the right place. I've added 6 and I've gone down 2. So q prime is right there. The most important thing is this understanding right here. What did it mean to go 6 units right and 2 units down? As soon as you hear the words right or left, you have to know that those are x terms. Going right or left, that is the x-axis being messed with. If you read the words up or down, then we're talking about the y-axis. Okay, that is the most important thing. Let's go back to our problem. Okay, so using the con drawing tool here. If it says 6 units to the right, and I know that this is my x value, I'm going to add 6. Negative 5 plus 6 is 1. And when it says 2 units down, I know that's my y minus 2. And since the 1 is my y value, 1 minus 2 is a negative 1. Okay. So the next one, point q prime is an image of q, which is at negative 7, negative 6 under a translation. Okay. So they're wording this a little bit differently, but they're saying it right here. So x plus 2, that means we're going right by 12. And y plus 8 means we're going up 8. So what is the coordinate of q prime? Okay, well, so the x value is negative 7. So negative 7 plus 12, integer rules. 12 is a greater absolute value than this, so it's going to be a positive answer. The difference is 5. Okay. Up 8 means that's going to be y plus 8, and the y value is the negative 6. So the negative 6 plus 8, which would be 2. And that's how it works. So to get through this lesson, what you really got to understand is what it means to go right and left, up and down. I'll just write that for the last time. What that means is, so going right, you know, let me do this on the other screen so it looks cleaner. So here are the rules. These things you just have to know them, guys. So here are the translation rules. First, you have to know x comes first and y comes second in a coordinate pair. Moving right means you're adding to the x. Moving left means you're subtracting from the x value. Moving up means you add to the y value. Moving down means you subtract from the y value. And those are your translation rules. Okay? All right, so if you need to go back and watch, please do so. If you need to pause and write this down, please do so. These are the basic rules for translations. When we're moving the object or moving the dot or whatever, left, right, up, and down. That's basically it. And that'll get you to that one. Okay? Our next lesson, it's right here. Translating shapes. Draw the image. I'm basically, hang on, I'll show what I'm reading. You need to use our close reading skills. So, okay, so close reading skills. Draw the image of quadrilateral ABCD under translation. Okay, so 2 units to the left and 6 units down. Okay, so the first thing I can do is realize I need to drag these green dots around. So I'm going to go ahead and drag these green dots right on top So I just put it right on top of the original shape. And now I need to move all of these green dots 2 units to the left. So I'm going to drag this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I've dragged them to the left, and now I need to move them 6 units down. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try that again. Let me clear away these boxes. Okay, so 6 units down. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somewhat goofy there. Hang on. Oh, that's why I scooted over on accident. Starting over. So I did 2 units left because it said 2 units left. Now 6 units down. Okay. No mistakes this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is that not wanting me? Why is that not letting me go down? Oh, I see what the mistake is. Let me put these back. I'll show you what's going on. So Khan Academy has this weird thing where it won't let you drag the shape like over the top of itself. So watch what we're gonna have to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm gonna drag this dot first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that should be right. So yeah, with Khan Academy, sometimes you have to drag the dots in a certain order just because it won't let them overlap, which is good to know because if you take an online assessment using some other tool from some other program, it might work the same way. So this one says, again, we're translating shapes. Translation means sliding it around. Draw the image. It says here, so the X change is -6, and the Y change is -7. Now think back to the last lesson. So this means that we're going y minus 7. That means we're going down 7, and this means we're subtracting from the x. We're going left by 6. So I'm going to drag these dots and put it right on top of their shape. Now, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do the left 6 part first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've translated left 6. Now I need to go down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it worked. Okay, I'm gonna do one more for you guys, and then you'll have to do the rest on your own. So first, I noticed immediately that it says 1 unit left and 5 units up. Okay, so 5 units up means we're gonna take the Y and we're gonna add 5. 1 unit left means we're gonna take the X and we're gonna subtract 1. Okay, so let's see what that means when we're gonna move these things. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag these dots right on top of the original shape. Okay, so everything goes left by 1, left by 1, left by 1, left by 1. Check. Then it goes up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be right. Okay. So there's translating shapes. The next one, determine translations. So let's see. Point A prime is at 2, 3, and it's the image of A, which is at 3, -4, under a translation. Oh, so it's working backwards. We have to, oh, I get it. Okay, so this time, what it's asking you to do is, okay, so here's our x value and here's our y value from A prime. And this is our original x value and our original y value. You know, I've been color coding this whole time. Hang on. This is our y prime. This is our original y. This is our original x. And this is x prime. Okay. Okay. So if we go from 3 to 2, what happened? That's what they're asking. If we started at 3, because that's A, and we moved to A prime, what had to happen if we went from 3 to 2? Well, to go from 3 to 2, something had to happen. We subtracted 1. And subtracting 1 from x, from an x value, means we went left by 1. That's 1 unit. Left. Now our y value went from -4 to 3. So -4, and then something happened, and now we're at 3. Okay, so from -4 to get to 3, we would have to add 7. Integer rules. I have to go up 4 just to get 0, and 3 more to get to 3, so that means 4 and 3, that's 7. And on the y-axis, if you're going up by 7, if you're adding 7, that means you're going up 7. So that's 7 units up. See? But this is the hardest one of the 3 because it's it's very abstract in that sense. Okay, so A prime, B prime, C prime is the image of ABC, triangle ABC under a translation. Okay. Determine the translation. Okay, so what it's asking us to do is to look if we're going from here to here. That's 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units. So it moves 3 to the right. It didn't go up, it didn't go down. It's just 3 over, 3 over. So down here, it went 3 units to the right. It didn't go up or down, or else I might have had another box to fill in. Okay, here's another one where they give us the complete abstract word sense of it. These are probably the hardest ones, to be honest. So first, it's kind of said backwards because they're giving us B prime. So this is our X prime. And this is B, so this is our original X. This -5 is our Y prime. And this -2 is our original Y. So we went from -5 to 6 on the x-axis. So -5 is where we started. Something happens, and now we're at 6. And then on the y-axis, we started at -2. Something happens, and then we end up at -5. Okay, well, let's figure out their x-axis stuff first. So from -5 to 6, that means we would have to go up 5 just to get to 0, and then 6 more to get to 6. So we are adding 11 here. And on the x-axis, if you're adding 11, That means you're going right by 11. Now, on the y-axis, if you're going from -2 to -5, it means you actually went down some. If you're at -2 and you subtract 3, then you end up at -5. Now, if you subtract on the y-axis, it means you're going down. So that's translated by 11 units to the right. And it was 3 units down. And those require a lot of understanding. So you should definitely have finished the first 2 lessons at a high rate before you even try this one. Let's go ahead and move on to our next lesson, though. Looks like I assigned just a reflecting points video, which is fine. So as long as you click it, you get your bronze grade. Let's watch this for a second.
Across the line L. We have our line L here. So we want to plot the image of here, we want to plot the image of point A under reflection across line L. But one way to think about it is point A is exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right of L. And so its reflection is going to be 4 units to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the image of point A. If you're doing this on the Khan Academy exercise, you would actually just click on the point and it would show up. This would be the reflection of point A across the line. Let's do another example. So here we're asked, plot the image of point B under reflection across the x-axis. All right, so this is point B. And we're going to reflect it across the x-axis right over here. So to go from B to the x-axis, it's exactly 5 units below the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we were to reflect across the x-axis, since you can see their image, it's going to be 5 units above the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's it.
So far, this is making complete sense to me. And if it is for you as well, you might do what I'm about to do. But if it's not, maybe I'd rewind and go watch a little bit more. So I'm going to start clipping ahead to see if there's a different kind of question. And there is.
What are the coordinates of C? So pause this video and see if you can figure it out. Well, there's several ways to approach it. It doesn't hurt to do a quick visual guide. So that would be my x-axis. This would be my y-axis. And it's point -4, comma -2. So then I look at -4, -2. This point C, right? And we want to reflect across the y-axis. So we want to reflect across the y-axis. Coloring red. So let's see. The point C is 4 to the left of the y-axis. So its reflection is going to be 4 to the right of the y-axis. So instead of being 4 to the left, we want to go 4 to the right. So where would that put our C prime? So our C prime would be right over there. And what would its coordinate be? Well, it would have the same y coordinate. So C prime would have a y coordinate of -4. But what would its x coordinate? Well, instead of it being -4, it gets flipped over the y-axis. So now it's going to have an x coordinate of +4. So the coordinates here would be 4, comma -4.
I want to stop here and say that one thing I like to do when I'm doing reflections is think about this one word. It's opposites. You'll notice that when he flipped it over, -4, the opposite of that is 4. So when you flip over an axis, you usually get an opposite of some kind.
You might have been able to do this in your head. Although for me, even if I tried to do it in my head, I would still have this visualization going on in my head. -4, comma -2, I'm sitting there in the third quadrant. If I'm flipping over the y-axis, my y-coordinate would change, but my x-coordinate would become the opposite. I would end up in the fourth part. That's exactly what happened. Y-coordinate did not change, but then my x-coordinate, since I'm flipping over the y-axis, became the negative x, the opposite of -4.
Okay. So after watching the video for credit, reflecting shapes. Plot the image of quadrilateral ABCD under a reflection across the y-axis. Okay, so I'm going to do that thing I do where I drag all these dots. Okay, so it definitely said across the y-axis. It won't let me draw on the graph. So there's the y-axis. Okay, so what essentially we're going to do is we're going to leave the y values alone and get the opposite x values. So you'll notice, so this D is that, oh, well, let's, I'm not sure if it'll let me drag them in the correct order. Let's try. So D is underneath the 4, so I want to flip this over to be under the -4. Yeah, that will let me. Okay, it's the best way to do this. Okay, so just because of the way Con works, I'm gonna need probably just to drag these away to the other side because it won't let me drag them over the top of each other. Okay, so this point A, it's the closest point to the y-axis. It's at -3 as a y value, but its x value is 2. Now, since we're flipping over the y-axis, its opposite value, instead of being under the 2, I want under the -2, right there. So I've just done a reflection of point A, vertex A. Now, vertex D is underneath the 4, so I need that to be underneath the -4. See that? So now those two are reflected. Point B was underneath the 3, so I need this one underneath the -3. And then point C is underneath the 5. So let me get on the same y value. So now I need to be underneath the -5. So now all these points are opposites of these points across the y-axis anyway. So this one, I'm just going to drag it over while I'm on autopilot mode. So this one says, plot the image of triangle ABC under reflection across the x-axis. Okay, the x-axis. That's this one. Okay. So I might need to just drag these points away just for a minute. Okay, opposites. Well, this one's a little bit quirky. The opposite of this one, since it's on the x-axis, is the same exact spot. This one needs to be on the same -6x value, but its y value is 5. So I'm going to flip this one over to be -5. And this one, point C is at 4, and I need to flip that over so it's at -4. So the one that's on the x-axis doesn't really go anywhere because it's this equidistant from the x-axis. Point C, its opposite is here, and point B's opposite is here. Okay, so that is reflecting shapes, and that's going to take some getting used to, especially with regards to which dots Khan Academy lets you move first, second, and third. So practice that. The last lesson this week is right here. Determining reflections. Draw the line of reflection that reflects quadrilateral ABCD onto quadrilateral ABCD prime. Okay, so I'm actually making, so I just need to put the line right down the middle of the two. That's fun. Draw a line of reflection. So where's the line of reflection between these two? Is it the actual x-axis maybe? Up 1, up 2, up 3, up 1, down 2, down 3, down 4, down 5. No, it is not. I gotta go down 1. So the key there is I need to make sure that they're actually opposites of each other. So like if I'm looking at point A is 2 units up. And from the origin, I mean from the from the x-axis. But A down here, A prime, I'm sorry, that is A prime. But A is 1, 2, 3, 4 units. And those are not the same. So the x-axis is just not the line of symmetry. So we needed to drag a line that was exactly the same number in between. So if we move the line here, then the distance to A prime is 3, and the distance to A is 3. And since it's equidistant, we have found it. So now we need to put a line in between these two. And sometimes with these, there's no counting involved. You can just kind of see, oh, there's the middle. And this one, oh, this makes it really easy. When they're touching, the middle is right through that dot that they share. So drawing lines or reflections has a little bit of dragging to it, but that's fine. That's fun. And that completes my mini tutorial on these 6 lessons. One of them is just a video that you are expected to master by the end of the week. Now, please keep in mind that any one of these lessons can be repeated 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, however many times it takes you to get 100. And you should always strive to get 100 on these because reasons. There's really no reason not to. So you can work on them in class if you have time because you've got some classwork to do. But if you finish your bookwork pages, you can work on this in class if you finish your other work first. If not, try to get it done at home. And I want it done by Friday at 5 p.m. Anything incomplete this week is going to go in as a grade you're not going to like. So please remember, I'm going to put my email address on the screen. Make sure everyone has it. Nice blue letters. If anything isn't working, please contact me at that email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I think with that, that's about it. Keep checking Google Classroom for anything that updates. The quizzes will be posted there as Google Forms. If any of the images don't work, you need to let me know. So until next time, and hopefully that is this week, I will see you guys in school. Take it easy.